Hello everybody, just wanted to give you a quick recap of my qualifying round in Pro -17 due to family being sick and myself, my wife and my kids. So didn't become that much Pro as I wanted to. So I wanted to give you a quick recap to kind of like freshen the memory of Pro, giving you the latest when it comes to the routes and the shots. And next stream will be on Friday, the 4th of September at 3 AM Eastern Standard Time. Obviously that video will then be up to public use whenever you want to watch it. So, -17, unfortunately missed 1 and 2, and then, you know, got a lot of drops there along the way. And we're gonna take a look as from the start. We go into the replay badge and we're gonna go to hole number 1 and start with that to take a look at the drive. The drive is gonna be the same as I do have in the Ultimate Tournament guides. We're not gonna change anything from there. I'm using the rock, and the reason I use the rock is due to its accuracy. The accuracy will help tremendously when it comes to hitting a great ball, as there is a risk for a bad great right with a low accuracy club like an extra mile to get the ball to roll into the rough on the right. Even if you would be rolling into the rough on the right, you still have no issues reaching the green in 2. Adjustment, maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and I'm using 4 topspin and then half a bar of side spin to the right. Great left, it's still gonna be fine, not gonna be any issues whatsoever. And we get the ball down to the fairway here. So simple drive, we get the ball to 336, and from here I did decide to go with the Grizzly. I did decide to change the position a little bit from the first go I had, because I used to play with the yellow ring, now I do play with the red ring, and the reason I do that is to give ourselves a little bit more room than what we had on the first try. So I'm using the red ring, top of the red ring by the rough line, and then I'm having the ball guideline to the hole. Unfortunately here, you will notice that I will be over adjusting my shot pretty heavily, and that is because I misread the club distance here. So the thing that I would say that the 336 should equal a 50% slider, meaning we should be playing it medium distance alone. Now I do play it 75% slider, which gives me more decimals than needed, and that's why we're gonna come in long, means that we're gonna miss to the left. You see, we're bouncing the rough nicely, but we still need like 2-3 decimal less to get that ball in the hole. So not really anything to celebrate on hole number 1, but at least something to work with. Hole number 2, I made a little change there as well, as I've been getting reports from players coming in a little bit too hot, me included. So I'm going to make a change here, which is going to not include any changes in spin. I'm having 2.2 bars of backspin and 1 bar right spin. Top of the yellow ring, you can see this is the position that we had before. Now I will be backing up here. I'm gonna leave the tip of the ball guideline 1 green square short of pin. So basically half of the red ring outside the rough with the ball guideline 1 green square short of pin. Now for the adjustment, we need to do an 1159 pull angle. This is a 12 in pull angle. We do need an 1159, otherwise we will most likely come in on the right side of the pin. And you will notice here now, once hitting the ball perfect, you can see that speed wise we come in a very good way, but the direction wise is not really as we want to. So we do need to have a pull angle 1159, and otherwise we will miss to the right of the pin. For hole number 3, we're gonna play with rock again if you do have it in level 7+. Otherwise I would recommend to go with an Apocalypse in a low level if possible. If having very low clubs, then I would honestly just lay up on the left and take the shot to the green for a simple eagle, because if we are not having the curl here, for an example, then we will be having a problem when getting the ball to stay on the fairway on the right. 2 bar side spin, I'm using 4 bars of top spin, adjustment max plus 10. And then we're going to push this club up 2 rings after our adjustment. and that is only with the rock level 7. If you do have the rock level 8 or 9, you should not push up anything, because it does have more power, and therefore it's gonna be compensated already for the amount I would push up here with the rock level 7. One ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the right, and the ball lands nicely on the fairway. Sure, we could debate on if we need a little bit more distance or not, but this is a safe drive, and it's going to get us up to maximum distance with our sniper, and that's kind of what we're looking for. I would say here though that now we are just completing maximum distance with our sniper, and that's sniper level 10. So sniper in a lower level than level 10 will have a problem with this here. So if you do want to take the very safe route, then pack a different wood club. And here, the Horizon in a decent level could be good. Obviously, the Cataclysm in a decent level would be good. Hammerhead as well in a decent level would be good. The thing that we do have as a bonus with the Sniper and also high-level clubs like Cataclysm, then that is the ball guideline. And that's also why the Horizon could be good as well. Problem is that it only has 1 bar backspin up to a fairly decent level. Adjustment here should be max plus 20. I do adjust a little bit too much, unfortunately, which was closer to max plus 30 with my adjustment. So really not anything we can learn for hole number 3. And it was kind of like a rocky start, but then we started to play better, you know, on hole number 4 and forward. And so we're gonna look for the Big Topper here. Big Topper is not the club that I've been playing before. It's because I do feel that if you have 6 bars of topspin on your driver, then you should play with that. And because again, Big Topper has a very bad accuracy, and a very bad accuracy means that if you do miss with a bad great left or bad great right, you will potentially not get yourself onto the fairway because it has such a massive effect. Leave the second bounce 2 rings away from the start of the rough over the water. So we are a little bit too high up here with our position. You're gonna notice that we are fairly close to the bunker, even though we still have a little bit of room. Click of curl to the left, just to help the ball over to the left more, and you can see that we could give ourselves a bit more room there. We have big room when it comes to the third bounce that is above the bunker, but the one before was fairly close. Now we are on green, simple putt. I play max plus 10 for the drive with the Big Topper. So just to recap hole 4, if you do play with a driver with 6 bars of topspin, meaning any form of the extra mile, apocalypse, play with those clubs instead, as it has a better accuracy, because 6 bars is the only thing that you need. And then you can also go down and play with a power 3 ball, because then 5, as the lower level Big Toppers will need. I with a power 4 with the Big Topper that I did have, but if you do have a Big Topper level 1 or level 2, then a power 5 is a must. Otherwise you're going to have to overpower the Big Topper, and that's going to be a problem. Now hole number 5, I'm starting with a Berserker ball. I don't know if that's not going to show in the replay, weirdly enough. So I start with a Berserker ball to find minimum distance. So now pretend that this is a Berserker ball. Then I do add spin, which is 4 top spin, and I'm adding half a bar of left spin. Then I'm changing to a Navigator, which is a power 1 wind 2 ball, and then we're going to adjust 1 to 1, meaning that we are adjusting 7.1 rings for 7.1 miles per hour. And then it's time to take our shot. So the reason I do this type of setup where I do make a ball swap is that I want to find minimum distance in a way more easier way than that we can otherwise do, because otherwise we are always going to struggle with finding exactly the same position, and then that's going to be an issue. So therefore I choose this route here, and that we drop it right side cup. It does probably mean that we do have a pretty high wind when it comes to the Navigator. Having a 7 miles per hour is on the high side. Lower wind would most likely drop straight at the pin. This is a good shot. This has dropped a ton of time for me already and for the followers. So make sure you replicate this one. And also being able to play with a Navigator is super duper helpful. Move on to hole hole number 6, we're going to take a look at the drive, and once again I do play with the rock, which is something that I will be doing more and more going forward, using the rock and the quarterback in tournament situations for its accuracy and for its ball guideline. And here we're using the rock due to its power. Sure, we could maybe come around with the quarterback level 9+, but I don't want to limit myself with the quarterback level 9+. I'd rather then go with the rock in this situation. I start at the plus, in this case a plus 5 yard mark, and we're going to go with 4 top spin and then 3 bars of side spin to the right. If you do play with the rock level 8, you are going to move down and play just before it turns to plus 1, and that's because you have more power with rock 8 and you then need to compensate for that. 1 ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the right, and then try to hit perfect. Great left and great right is still fine with the rock due to its very good accuracy, and we get to 350. But here, when it comes to the rock and hole 6 in general, I'm not playing with the yardage as a reference. I do buy the plus yardage. So now I'm using the slider for this adjustment, but I'm going to explain. First and foremost, I make sure that I do have no spin, if possible. Sure, if I have a very, very long drive, I might gonna add a little backspin, leaving the ball guideline approximately 2 to 3 green squares short of pin, with the ball guideline at, pointed to the pin. Now we are at plus 11. I played 97% slider with a 10% over adjustment, which is gonna be pretty much max distance here with a 10% over adjustment. So, perfect ball, and we're gonna see this ball turn with the camera here, which is nice, but look at this speed. Even if I leave it so short, I still come it with pretty hot. It's not in risk of jumping in and out with this speed, but it kind of demonstrates how much this, how fast that ball rolls on this hole, because it always are doing that on this freaking hole. Nice to get an albatross and nice to get it confirmed. So plus 11, 97% slider, but looking at the slider with that low wind, it gives me the same adjustment. If you do play with the Patreon guides, make sure you use the plus yardage table. So now we move on to hole number 7, and here I've also added a yardage table in because when we play over to the right, we are going to play a linear way on this hole, or at least very, very close. It's going to be such a minor degrees change that it's not going to have an effect. So here I'm playing with 4 bars of top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right, and I'm here also using an apocalypse. So a low level apocalypse would be better than basically any other club. Sure, if you do have the rock level 8, level 9, you could go to that one as well. It should be pretty much the same as apocalypse 2 or 3. Adjust max plus 10, 1 ball outside the adjustment ring to the right, and then we try to hit perfect. The ball is then gonna bounce and it's gonna get over to the fairway nicely, and now we're looking very closely to the yardage here, which is gonna be in this case 367. Have in mind that I do play with a power 5 ball. If you do have a driver that has 240 yards, you don't have to play with a power 5 ball. But I would recommend for the yardage table's sake. But again, I understand if there isn't a possibility to play with a berserker ball on this hole. Now from 367, we are going to play 10% over adjustment with 40% slider, so 4-0. Now I'm estimating club distance here, and then standing with 1 bar of backspin in the end, and with the ball guideline to the hole. So this is the thing that I will be doing. I will be using 1 bar backspin, ball guideline to the hole, and obviously playing with a club like the Thorn 8, Hornet 8 that do have a 4.2 ball, or like 4.1 or better ball guideline, is going to be very helpful. Those of you playing with lower level clubs that do not have the last piece of the ball guideline is going to struggle to find the right position, but do your best and follow the yardage table, and then it's going to be fine. Right at pin, so from 367 yards we play 40% slider, and then we're gonna get it in the hole. Those of you playing with 240 yard drivers and have the possibility to play with power 5 wind 0, you could technically go directly for the green, but it's so wind dependent. Low wind or a bad wind angle, you're not gonna be close. So that's a decision you will have to make. Here on hole number 8, I did first think that okay, let's go with a wind ball and a rough bump, but I have started to not really like this rough bump due to its very weird inconsistency with the ball guideline. It's like if I move a little left or right, it does seem to have the ball guideline move more than I want to. And sure, I could play, you know, at the thin strip above the bunker, but that's not really what I want to do. So here I will be playing with the Grizzly. Unfortunately, I do make a little bad adjustment here, which is not really going to give us the thing that we do want. So the thing that I'm aiming for at least is to have the blue ring by the rough line, and we're looking for the second bounce to be just above the fringe. That far is correct, but we're having a little bit too much side spin to the right here, and that's pretty obvious. Perfect ball, but again, it's not going to help. We're going to miss pretty heavily to the right here, approximately 1 green square to the right of the pin. The adjustment was max plus 15 for those that wondered. Last but not least, we're going to take a look at hole number 9. And here, I did forget to push up. I did focus so much on this drive and the fact that, okay, I thought I had the rock level 8. Because if you do play with the rock level 8 or 9, you should not push up anything here. But when we're playing with the rock level 7, we should be pushing up 1.5 ring after the adjustment, but that is not something that I do, which you're gonna notice here also. We do add 4 topspin, 2 bars of side spin to the left, and then we adjust maximum distance plus 20. And here I play with a Titan. I don't see the need of playing with a Kingmaker. We don't really need any side spin for the approach, and then the drive is just needed 2 bars. You could also play with a wind ball here. It could definitely help you, especially with approach. But again, trying to keep the adjustment free to play, which would be good. So we should have pushed up 1.5 ring in the end. We get to 352, which is a little bit short in my book. But from 352, we had to be innovative. We had to just make a decision based on how it was. We are fairly close into maximum distance here. But sure, have in mind, we do have the sniper level 10. And using, in this case, 1 bar of side spin to the right, and we're using also 1.8 bar of top spin. I'm gonna change that a little bit from time to time, because I do want to have the top of the white ring by the rough line with the ball guideline to the hole. Now I am a little bit too far up, but that's, you know, minor execution things that we're gonna learn from moving forward. Adjustment, I did play maximum distance plus 10, and then I deducted the 0.2 decimals, and we get this one in right side cup for a nice albatross here on hole number 9. So definitely added reference when it comes to the guide for that. So it's definitely a possibility to do very well here in Pro. So let's take a look again. We are just started the opening round because I finished late Wednesday qualifier and wanted to go to sleep. That's why I didn't upload it until now. So minus 17 again, but there is room for more. We missed 2, we missed 1, we missed 2, and we missed 8, and also missed 3. Otherwise, flawless. But in the end, if you do have any questions, the best way to get in contact with us and the fastest way to get in contact with us is support@golfclashtommy.com. And also let me know in the comment section below how you did on your round. And in the end, I would like to wish you the best of luck in the Northern Open tournament.